Welcome to Dr. Cush's Exotic Drinks. I'm, of course, Dr. Cush, along with my barback Kyle. I'm not a real doctor, but I did spend almost 2 decades running some of LA's best bars. After years of teaching classes and training bartenders, I want to demystify the cocktail world for you. Let's try a few new things as I open up my bar to everybody. Belly up, chat, and let's have a drink. Welcome, everybody, to Dr. Cush's Exotic Drinks. Whoa, Dr. Cush right here. We are, and Ernie is here. And Ringo is here. Everybody say hi to Ringo. Unfortunately, I was away from the bar for a couple days, so Motu Jen did have to come in here and feed him. She promised she would sing to him, but I just found out moments ago there was no singing, so I hope that Ringo is okay. Let's feed Ringo real quick since I'm remembering. I'm just gonna pour a little bit more ginger, fresh ginger with the skin on, and 2 teaspoons of sugar. Give this a little stir. There we go. Boy, Ringo has gotten very cloudy. I think he's going through some sort of teenage crisis right now. He is not as bright as he was earlier. I'm not really understanding him as much at this point. I think he's having some hormonal issues, but that's all right. Soon he'll be bubbly again, and there we go. If you're making your ginger bug along with me, and it doesn't look like this, and you started where we started, whoops. You have, I think you've done something wrong. Either you used chlorinated water, or your ginger is wrong. Can you imagine? Your ginger is just wrong. Anyway, that is Ringo. He's doing great. He should be done by Saturday. So on Saturday, I think we're going to start making a couple bubbly sodas. You do have a little bit of time if you have fast-going ginger to get your ginger bug going. We're making a cocktail tonight called the Beelzebub. One of those cocktails that just sort of showed up one day. Oops, there it was. We didn't know what we were doing. We didn't have it one day. We do have it the next day. Kind of a modern classic. How can you tell it's modern? There's mezcal in it. Anytime you see mezcal in a cocktail at this point, it means that some New York bartender was bored at work and they were drinking mezcal anyway, and so they threw it into a cocktail, and now you have it. That's about 98% of the time that when that happens is some New York bartender, some guy with a mustache and suspenders doing his thing. So we're gonna try it. I never tried it before, so let's see how we do. Let me say hello to the people. Moose, greeting to Dr. Cush and Ringo. Ringo, you're getting shouted out, buddy. You're famous. That's pretty good. DC, Debbie Clark, winner of the 2023 Cush Ducky Derby, asking the question on everybody's mind: where is Shawnee P? Is he okay? Was his birthday too much? Has he been, I don't know, was he elected the president of some place and now he's got his time all mixed up? We don't know. Maybe he's here now. Amy Nordstrom is here with a moose. So that's 2 mooses. Pretty darn good there, Moose. Well done. Amy Beer is here. Good to see you, Amy Beer. As always. Oh, why were we worried? Sean's here. Good evening to Shawnee P. Who else do we got in here? Seems like you 4 have been writing a lot. Oh, Dougie G. Dougie G, howdy to you all. Howdy to you, Dougie G. Roger G is also here. Been a while since we made it to a show on time and in full. Yeah, it's good to have you guys back. It seemed a little echoey in here for a while, so it's good to have you guys filling up some space. Good evening to Bootopia. That is what that means. Good evening, all. Cheers. Happy Friday Eve from Cocktail Lulu. Just back from Hawaii. I got some great photos from them. They really did Hawaii well. So congratulations on traveling well. This is my Bourbon Podcast. Good to see you. It's been a minute. I've been watching your stuff. If you're not also watching, this is my Bourbon Podcast. Pop on over, please. Go support all the people. Matty Piers running late in Hawaii. Oh, he's on Hawaiian time zone. Matty Piers, of course, the creator of Ernie. Good to see you. Who else do we have running around here? I guess that's it. Let's do this so I can see how many people are here. Oh, we're on kind of a light show tonight. That's all right. Let's get into this cocktail. Listen, I was just talking about this. We have a great, I'll say, we have a great guest coming up, not this Saturday, next Saturday. She runs a podcast. She was looking for other podcast people to come on, and then I had to really sit down and think to myself, is this a podcast? Do I host a podcast? I didn't think that I did, but it turns out from the outside, this might look like a podcast. So welcome to Dr. Cush's Exotic Drinks, the podcast. Anyway, we were talking today. She was like, oh, what do you want to talk about on the show? I was like, the thing that I talk about the most is really how simple this is. How very, very easy. How if you understand what the 7 cocktails are, you can then break apart those 7 cocktails and put them back together, like buying Lego of something that you don't want, but then taking all those pieces and creating, like a castle or so. I don't know what you want from the thing, but anyway. So we were talking about that. I thought that was kind of an interesting thing. You guys have heard it 1,000 times, but her audience hasn't, and that's where this all spreads. So anyway, I wanted to find a cocktail tonight that was easily identifiable, something nice and easy to identify. We know exactly what type of cocktail it is, but is also complex enough to make it seem like it's a magic trick. All right, so what does this cocktail do? This cocktail not only splits its base, it splits its base in a very, very odd way. Maddie Pierce, the ginger bug is not done. It will be done on Saturday. Ringo. I'll leave Ringo. You know what? We'll just leave Ringo here for a minute while I do the whole thing. It splits its base in a very, very odd way. It splits it between bourbon, and which is something we don't use on the show a lot, and also mezcal, which is certainly not a spirit that we use a lot on this show. We're a little rummier than that. Also, it gets its sweetness from some syrup, but it also gets its sweetness from an Amaro. The Amaro is going to bring in some of that bitterness as well. And then it's soured by just lemon juice. Don't worry about forget about that part. Just a lot of big flavors. So what are we looking at, right? If we think about it for a second, what are we looking at? We are looking at a cocktail that fits into the Daisy category, the category that includes things like the margarita, the cosmopolitan, the Mai Tai. All of these fit within this class of cocktails. And so if we on a menu see that there are these ingredients, we can break this cocktail apart without even looking at the recipe. I think a lot of you guys who have been taking notes, a lot of you guys that haven't just been chatting the whole time, some of you that have been like actually paying attention in class, you don't have to do that, could put this cocktail together. Very simple. And so when you see it and you're like, oh my gosh, there's 5 ingredients and they're all crazy ingredients. How will I ever balance these out? Easy. You follow the recipe. There is a recipe. So let's get into it. We'll explain everything that goes into it as it goes. Now, to be totally honest with you, I've never tried this cocktail. I'm at the point 5 years into hosting this podcast that I think we've tried all the cocktails that I've tried. So everything that I've tried on this, I've tried. So we're going to find some new ones. That's going forward. It's going to be a lot of new cocktails. So anyway, as we build this cocktail in this nice and empty, clean vessel, we'll explain what's going on and we'll explain how you could have figured this out. Okay? Cool. Let's get into it. Cheapest ingredients first. We are going to start with our lemon juice. We use pseudo lemon juice on this show. It tastes fresh. It tastes fine, but more importantly, it is bar stable. It sits right on my bar, and it's great. If you were building a margarita, most famous of the cocktails, most famous, I still think it's the #1 cocktail in most of the world, the margarita. How would you start with your citrus? Ask yourself that. How would you start? What's a good jumping off point for it? Well, if you're making a normal cocktail, I would say probably 3/4 of an ounce. So we'll do that. We'll start with 3/4 of an ounce. Rarely will you do a 1/2 ounce of citrus if you're then going to put in a number of other sweet ingredients. You might want to bump it up a half or a 1/4 ounce to a full ounce of citrus, and that will get you there. But for today, we're going to start with 3/4 of an ounce. So go ahead and throw in 3/4 of an ounce of some lemon juice, fresh lemon juice, bottled lemon juice if you really want to. If you don't, if you're not loving yourself today, you're feeling a little down on yourself, you want to punish yourself a little bit, bottled lemon juice. But you're gonna do bottled lemon juice, just do pseudo juice. Okay, 2 sweeteners. We're throwing in 2 sweeteners. One would think then, if we want to match our sour with our sweeteners, that we would want to throw in like a 1/2 ounce of one and 3/4 of the other, or sorry, a 1/2 ounce of one and 1/4 of the other to make it 3/4. So it's 3/4, 3/4, and then whatever you're putting in there. However, one of those ingredients is going to be, get this, Amaro. Amaro plays a really interesting role in a lot of different cocktails, and that role, and listen to this as I say it, that role is as a bittering agent. So we're going to just tack on an extra 1/4 ounce to make that Amaro also be the bittering thing. Now the real cocktail calls for Averna. Listen, no, we don't have Averna, so get that right out of here. Instead, we're going to use what we have. We're going to find this guy. This is the Rangoni Amaro. Sweet. We're looking for like a sweeter Amaro, something that's got some big sugars through it, something that has a little cinnamon going through it. This is what we want. So we're going to go in and throw in 1/2 ounce of a nice dark Italian Amaro. Literally, oh, there it is. I cannot keep my jiggers to myself. Go ahead and put in 1/2 ounce of a dark Amaro. Every Amaro, oh God, got me. Every Amaro is going to be a little different. There is no universal flavor for Amaro. So my recommendation, first of all, is find one Amaro that you like. That's all you need at your bar. Yes, will this Amaro make the paper plain taste a little differently than Amaro Nonino? Yeah, it's going to make it taste a little differently. Is it going to throw it off by so much that you're going to spit this drink out? No. If you love a paper plane, get some Amaro Nonino. Stuff's kind of expensive, but Amaro Nonino is that specific taste for the paper plane. For this one, we're going to forego all that, and we are going to take an Amaro that we like and throw it in here. We need more sweet. We got to have more sweet in here. We got to have more sweet. There was one ingredient. What have I done with it? Oh, there it is. There was one ingredient in that little thumbnail that I put up there all the time that didn't have a label on it, so maybe some of you guys are worried. What are you going to put in here? Just orgeat. It's orgeat. It is almond syrup, toasted almond syrup. We throw a little bit of orange flower water in there, a little bit of rose water in there, just to give it a little bit more depth, to give it, to make it taste better. I keep saying there's more depth to these things. What I mean is it just tastes better. It just tastes more interesting. We make all of our Amaro homemade here, or I guess bar made here. Very simple. This is going to be where all of our sweetness is coming from. Most of our sweetness is coming from other than the Amaro, and that doesn't carry a ton of sweetness, but it is considered a liqueur. So we're going to go ahead and bump up our normal sugar level, our normal sweetness level. We're going to bump that up to 1 full ounce. So we're going to go ahead and put in 1/2 of an ounce of our orgeat. Excellent. Okay. Let's keep going. We'll put this back, otherwise we're going to forget about it, and then we'll have bad orgeat tomorrow. Okay. I try my very best in my life to not fight on the internet. That's one of my favorite things, is to not fight on the internet. I really don't like fighting on the internet. However, sometimes I have a drink or two, and I get on that gosh darn Instagram, and I see people say things that I think are ridiculous. I think they're absolutely ridiculous. I'm still in a fight. This person will, every once in a while, write me something horrible. I told them at one point, forgive me for saying the truth, that tequila is a type of mezcal. It's a very specific type of mezcal. You need to have a very specific type of agave, Blue Weber agave. It has to be made a certain way. It has to be clear, unless you're aging it. There's got to be there's a lot of different things. But mezcal, the same way that whiskey is the big old circle for all of grain-based spirits, that's whiskey, all in there. You make it from grain, you're going to have a type of whiskey. Depending on what type of grain, where you make it, is a different type of whiskey. Mezcal is the overarching group that is all agave spirits, right? It's the overarching group of all agave spirits. I told this person that, and they got really upset with me. Called me an idiot. Called me worse things than that. Called me a lot of bad names. Did not care at all for this angry fight. However, anyway, if you don't have mezcal, tequila is a type of mezcal. You can use tequila. Now, a lot of mezcals are coming through being a little smokier. That's because most mezcals are made by smoking the piña before it gets mashed and put in to the pot to be made. So a lot of mezcals, when they're calling for mezcal, they're usually calling for a smoky mezcal. Not all mezcals are smoky. Just how it is, right? Tequila is a non-smoky mezcal. We don't want a lot of this. Mezcal is absolutely overpowering in a lot of cocktails. We just want half an ounce of some mezcal, which, if we are then following along with how a cocktail is made, how a daisy is made, what are we going to do? We need to fill the rest of this out with another liquor. What liquor we're going to use? We're going to go ahead and grab whiskey. Now, it calls for bourbon. This is not a bourbon. This is not a bourbon. This is a... Oh, never mind. It is a bourbon. Okay, never mind. It is a bourbon. It is a wheated bourbon. Ignore what I just said. It absolutely is a bourbon. What is bourbon? It falls into that big category of grain base, but it's at least 51% corn. Corn is the grain. Corn technically counts as a grain, so that's what it is. We are going to add 1.5 ounces of our bourbon. I have read tale, many legends of other bartenders that have made this cocktail have said they don't use bourbon in this one. They use something like a Japanese whiskey, which is certainly lighter than a bourbon. They will use something like an Irish whiskey, which is lighter than a bourbon. They will use something like, I don't know, something else. Another type of lighter whiskey. They think that the bourbon might overpower this in its sweetness, and so obviously corn is a sweetener, so they will use something else other than that. If you want to do that, it's fine. We don't know who created the Beelzebub cocktail, so instead, it's up to you. You do what you want to do. I'm using this bourbon because, honestly, Maker's Mark is bourbon. Just a minute ago I said it wasn't. It is a wheated bourbon. We're gonna go ahead and put a little ice here. I use the bourbon because I don't mind a little sweetness in my cocktail. That is not anything that has ever bothered me. I mean, look at me. I'm a big teddy bear. I love a little sweetness. Here we go. Let's give this a big old shake. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Low carb cocktail guy, cheers all, just left an agricole tasting. I have a feeling if you want to know some secrets about our friend, the low carb cocktail guy, now is a good time to ask. He seems ready to divulge some secrets. That is when I give out my best secrets, is right after some sort of tasting. That is a really good time to learn about my thoughts on just about any topic that I don't normally talk about. We're going to go ahead and strain this into our cocktail glass. This is called an APC, an all-purpose coupe. It does not have the nipple dipple, so it is technically not a Marie Antoinette. You can see that the glass stops there. not down there. If it's up down there, it'd be a Marie Antoinette with its nipple dipple. There is no nipple dipple, so it is just normal. We want to put just a little bit of, this is just a little nutmeg. We're just going to take a little nutmeg right on here. We're just going to do a little sprinkle. Does a couple things. Obviously, it's going to make you smell the nutmeg. It is also, more importantly, it is the garnish. Maybe less importantly, it's the garnish on this thing. I'm going to take this. Let's bring this in here real quick. If we show you guys what's going on here on the top, that doesn't look great, right? We're just going to spread some of this stuff out. Give it a little swirly whirly so that instead of having big old clumps, we're sort of spreading it out just a little bit. This did not spread as much as I would have liked it to, but it might be old nutmeg. There we go. A little bit of smell, a little bit of garnish, served up the Beelzebub. The Beelzebub, Lord of the Flies from the Bible. I'm sure you're all Bible scholars in here. That's seems to be what you guys are way interested in, you heathens. This is it. Modern classic, lots of big flavors, but it follows a very specific cocktail formula. And here we go. Cheers. Yeah. Dougie says that's why you need nutmeg pods. I just call them units. Nutmeg units. Nutmeg units would have spread a little bit better. The reason we started the show a little bit late is because I was tearing the bar apart looking for nutmeg units. Couldn't find it. I've talked on the show a lot about how some drinks taste old. They just taste like old drinks. Even though you're making them with new ingredients, there's just something about the way that the cocktail is built. It tastes sort of ancient. There are some ingredients that we used to use that we don't really use anymore. Our palates aren't like ready for it. This tastes incredibly new. The mezcal has been around since forever. The story goes, someone was down in Mexico and out of the sky crashed a lightning bolt and it fried the agave, the piña, the agave. It burnt it. And what does every civilization ever do? Well, if you find something new, we try and make booze out of it. So they made booze out of it. That's how the first mezcal was made. Mezcal has been around for forever. It's only recently that bartenders who continue to, some would say challenge themselves, I would say dare each other to drink grosser and grosser things, have finally all started to admit that they admit that all, they all started to say at first, they're like, let's be different than these plebeians that come into the bar and order vodka cranberries, one of my favorite drinks, and instead we are going to drink the more hardcore stuff. Let's get into Fernets, let's get into Amaros, let's get into mezcal. That's what they all said. So they started putting it in drinks. That only then do these ingredients sort of find their way into the popular culture. Mezcal, for me, despite being an ancient type of liqueur, is very new tasting. It's really nice. I think that the Amaro gives us a really nice balance. If the drink didn't come out tasting good, we would have done it again with Averna, but that would mean I have to have Averna at my bar, and I don't think I'm ready for that, to be honest. I think me and Averna should just stay friends. I don't think I'm ready for it to move in yet. I will have it at bars, but not this bar. I think it's spectacular. Yes. Let me just say hello to my very good friend, Tammy Harrison. Amaro gives us balance. That's right, Tammy. Tammy, my co-host from Mixed Cocktail Hour, and also amateur philosopher. Amaro gives us balance. That's exactly right. That's very zen of you, Tammy. The Amaro does really well in here. If you want to skip the Amaro completely, I think a great way to do that would be to bump up the orgeat bump it up to the 3/4 of an ounce, and then add some Angostura bitters in here. That would do. But I do think that this is the way to go. I just want to real quick. It's a Tammy party in here. So Tammy, 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 Tammy. It is an absolute Tammy bonanza in here. Didn't mean to throw you off. Don't worry, Tammy. To be fair, you can't get thrown off if you're never really on. Tammy. There they are. Jen giving kisses. It's alarming. Anyway, that's what we got, guys. We have done it. We've just continued to prove the thesis that even if a cocktail seems like it is going to be daunting, 5 ingredients, all of them with big personalities, bourbon and mezcal or jatte, amaro, all of that stuff. If you just follow the rules, you can figure out these cocktails. They taste great in that combination. Very rarely will you come across a cocktail that you love that doesn't fall into one of those sort of categories, and thus is hard to recreate. These are all fairly easy to recreate. Sideball right there, you guys. Never know when I'll hit you. Seems like more philosophy. Might be too deep for me. There we go. Oh, thanks, Tam. Tammy, you're always first of all, if your goal is to throw me off, you have not done it. I veer constantly, so it's better to just never be on the same on one path. So you're always welcome. And obviously we don't love this. This is not our favorite thing. But every time Tammy comes in, it's great. My friends, that is what I got for you. Nice and easy, the Beelzebub Cocktail. It is a daisy that is big. Couldn't swallow it. That is big flavors, and it does all the right stuff. You're right, because we're Cardinals fans. We are Cardinals fans, but I'm a little confused. I'm a little worried about which Cardinals you mean. Oh gosh, I think he means the bad Cardinals. Yeah. Oh gosh. Oh man, now we're gonna have sports fights in here, as if there's not enough fighting on the internet already about whether or not mezcal and tequila are the same thing. They're not the same thing, but one is one of the other, while the other isn't one of the other. All tequila is mezcal. All mezcal is not tequila. That's what we got. Yeah, this was my fault, Tammy. Yeah, he did mean the St. Louis Cardinals, and I just can't abide. It's embarrassing to say it. I'm a Diamondbacks fan, though, so I'm not going to say it. Anyway, that's what we got here. Neo on the Matrix. I'm going to take that compliment. I'm going to use whatever you mean. I'm going to say that's a compliment. But there we go. Yes, you do need to tune in more often. Okay, that's what I got, guys. We will be back here on Saturday. Saturday, for those of you that witnessed the birth of our boy right here, Ringo. You were all there when we named him. You're all there when we started him. We are going to, like every great 7-day-year-old, we're going to put him to work. We got to put him to work. We're going to start making some bubbly sodas so that by the end of the next week, we will have bubbly soda. Not a deep show, guys. We're not curing anything. We're making bubbly soda using our friend Ringo, the ginger bug. So, gosh, I probably shouldn't have the existential crisis right here. I'll wait until I'm off air. Thank you guys for tuning in to the show. We will be back here on Saturday for our long show. If I seem a little nervous, it's because the USC Trojans are playing after the game. Usually I know how the game goes, at least how it's going by the time the show goes. So I'll probably be drinking a little bit on the show. Hashtag Ringo the Ginger Bug, if you can put it out there. If you guys have a second, don't forget to muddle that like button. And from there, we will say things like... Bye-bye. And then also things like, and then why not one of these?
Why don't you take a picture? It'll last longer.
And then I will ask you the question.
Are you Dr. Jinga Janga?
It's always the question we have to ask. We will never find him. Despite what Kim K, the lawyer, says. We still have no idea.
Are you Dr. Jinga Janga? Bye!
Goodbye, everybody. Sorry, couldn't get the buttons right, so we're going to try and do this one more time. Bye!
A party, and you're invited! I'm gonna drink a lot of beer and stay out all night. What? What? Save your questions until